Oh, hello kids, how are we? Can someone let me know they can hear me? Just a little yes in the chat box would be cool. I think the stream is about 30 seconds behind. I will just carry on as normal because I know a lot of you guys don't watch this live. You watch it sort of in your evenings later on. If someone could just say yes to me though. Yes, sweet. Okay, I'll get cracking. So, bit of a mental candle we've just had. Bitcoin looked good, looked like it was going to do the relief rally, and now it looks like it's coming to retest slightly. I am going to do mostly charts here, so yeah, today is going to be mostly charts. So yeah, this just shows me that people are selling into higher prices. Investors are selling into higher prices. I'm not interested in holding crypto at the moment. Something I'm going to show you guys is that I've been testing with. Yeah, but I think at this moment in time, I'm looking for the relief rally. I'm looking to then fill shorts, and I'm not looking to hold spot crypto at this moment in time, other than some Bitcoin. But I want to have at least 2/3 of my sort of spot portfolio be USDT, and then the other third be Bitcoin, and then pretty much close to nothing in alts. And then I'll look for my futures account. I will look to then short the relief rally. So let's go into it. So Bitcoin, you can see just a bit dull today. Went up to 44.4, rejected hard straight away, back down into the low 43s. I got stop loss at 43,000, which was the entry price. I'm not comfortable longing this with how the macro is outside. I just don't want to be in longs. I think it's going to go up, but am I willing to bet my money on it going up? Probably not. So I'm hoping to see the relief rally. I will then short into the relief rally. And as you build short positions, as you do shorts, you build short positions. So it's not something you don't just go, put your balls on the table and short the life out of something. So the best thing so let's have a look at Solana straight away. So this is my ideal setup for Solana. So the first short we got off in, so I will short this at every point. So say for instance let's just say I have £100 I want to short. I will do an order of maybe £5 at 157. I would order at £10 of maybe 160. So far out of my 100, I've got 15 laid out of the 100. This is how you build a short position for the next month, 2 months. So I spent £5 on an order at 157, and then £10 at an order at 160. So I've got 15 of the 100 that I've got available for this trade laid out in this box. I will then go here. I will go something like 10 and 20. So £10 or $10 at an order price of 173, shorting of course. And then 20 at 177. So I've just got, I might even do less than that. No, I will. I'll do 10 and 20. So I then have $10 shorting at the price of 173, and then a $20 shorting at the price of 177. You should then, that gives you 30. So I would have spent overall 45 out of my total 100. Your average price would be something in here, something like 168. Probably more, probably closer to like 170, 168, 170. I'd say somewhere in there. And then I've got my short. If we pop and we go to here, that's going to scare me slightly, and I will short the rest in here. So I've got 55 left to spend. I will probably spend 25 of it here. No, I probably won't. I'll spend probably 20 of it there. And then I will spend I had 55. I will spend the remaining 35 at 201. I will spend 20 at 194 and 35 at 201. That will be my full £100. So in this level here, I will spend £15 shorting, or $15. Sorry, I'm in London. I work in pounds, but yeah, let's just call it dollars. $15 I will spend in here shorting. So I've already got one order off. In here, I will spend $30 shorting. So 10 at 173, 20 at 177, say. So I'll spend $30 in here shorting. I'll then spend the remainder of my £100 I've allocated to this trade. I will spend the remaining 55 because I've done 15, 30. So 45 in total. I've got 55 left. I'll spend 20 at $194 and I'll spend 35 at 201. If we then break past, we're buggered. So I'd have a stop loss probably higher. Probably have a stop loss somewhere at 214. So I will do. So yes, I would. I have just got a question in the Discord. I will answer that for. I don't know if they're a member, but if they're a paid member, an expert member. But in terms of the shorting, this is how I would short this. So with regards to the £100, that is, or dollars, that is just an example. You guys need to work out how much you're willing to lose. So say you fill all your orders and your average price is probably about maybe 185. Let's just say 185, and you go up to, here is your stop loss at 216. So you need to work out how many Solana short you will be, an average price of 185, and you're going to ride it until 216. So that's got a stop loss of, you'll lose $30 per Solana you have short. If you say, right, the maximum I want to lose is 30, is $300, you know you've got 10 Solana short. So you need to price this up and work out. So out of that 55 out of $100, you want to be filling 5.5 Solana in here. You want to be filling 3 Solana in here, and you will be filling 1.5 Solana in here. That's how you build a short position. So that if you fill here and you break down, you've made money. If you go here, you fill more, you've got a bigger size, and you break down, you make money. If you fill in here and you break down, you make money. You're giving yourself a lot of buy room. You're giving yourself a lot of chances to win rather than lose. And if you do, we don't have the market conditions to shoot right the way through. I just don't think we have the market conditions. But let's go back to Bitcoin, and I'll answer the question I just got in the Discord. So the question I just got in the Discord was, how is it possible to go down for the next 6 months and then up again before a halving? Doesn't make much sense. Well, I understand his point of view, because before, the halvings have always been the case that you bring a new bull rally from there. However, we didn't have institutional investors back then. We also didn't have the miners really caring. They were selling their supply. They're now not selling their supply, because at the next time the halving is here, it's almost, the halving rewards are not big at all. So the whole mining situation and the 4-year cycle, it's done and dusted. Like, it's not going to be a thing anymore. People say, oh, you get a blow off top, then a capitulation. Well, we didn't have the blow off top this time. So I would say you have to understand who is in the market now. Before, you had these 4-year cycles where people would get involved on the big pumps, and then they would try and get out in the dumps, and there would be 2 years of each. We now don't really have that, because the mining, the rewards that were paid out in the mining are now on the next cycle will be so significantly low, they almost become, they don't have that sort of hold or function over the market. It's not that important anymore. You also have the institutions trading it, which is why the institutions now are not holding into these blow-off tops. They don't care. They're willing to sell, which is what we saw in the on-chain video. As soon as this happens, you get this move up here, you get a bearish divergence. They're like, sweet, I'm out. You know, they're trying to make sort of 20% in a year, maybe a bit more. So all of a sudden, if they can go and be buying in here at the 40Ks, which we saw a lot of buys in here, say they bought in this candle here, and they got somewhere a fill at 45, say they filled at 45,500, because we saw from the on-chain, so if you watch the on-chain, you'll understand this. The on-chain, there was a lot of buying in this area here. Sorry, in this area here. So say they bought in an average price of 45, they held here, no problem, and they've gone up here. We saw a lot of selling in here. So say they sold at the bottom of this point here, so 63.5, and they bought in at 45.5. They've nearly made 50% on their money in that one trade. So they've almost done their year's worth. Obviously, they're not going to put 100% of their capital into this trade, but that for them is like 50% is a great gain. They're out. They're done and dusted there. So, you know, it was the institutions that drove this move up here. So, you know, I think personally the cycle was sort of done. The 4-year cycle thing was done when this happened, and you got the big, you got the top over it in this time in the summer. So I hope that goes some way to answering the question, because I don't think the mining effect will have that. I don't think it'll be that big an effect at all, to be honest. It will have a bit of an effect, but not much. You also have the institutions now playing. The institutions have so much money. Before, the miners used to control the market. Now it will be the institutions and the miners controlling the market. The institutions don't care about the cycles. They don't, and they're not going to sit there and wait 2 years through a bear market. It's just not going to happen. So, well, those are my personal thoughts on it. I can be wrong, obviously. All of this is just theory. Don't take what I say as gospel. Certainly don't take what anyone else says as gospel. You have to sort of work out who knows what they're talking about and is more right than wrong, and then build 5 to 10 different people. Find 5 to 10 different versions, different people that do that, and then make your own opinion based off of that. So don't take what I take as gospel. Don't take what I say as gospel, and neither for anyone else. But find 5 to 10 good people that you can listen to. So going back to the charts, we had Bitcoin. I still think we will get a move. There's just no strength in it. The liquidity is not there. If I turn the volumes on, I don't think the volumes will be there. So like we've had some, but like here the volume is in the down candle. There's no volume in up candles. If I go to the 3-day chart, let's say, I move this out of the way. Look at the volume in the 3 days compared to now. It's less than half. This was the volume in the bull run here. This part, you probably had somewhere in the middle, I'd say maybe like there is the middle. So we had a volume, I can't see the candles, but from there to where we are today, it's probably double the amount. If you sort of look across the line, I don't want to move, okay, I can move it across. But we were, so in the bull market, we were about there. You can now see the difference. It's probably half the amount. We're just not getting the liquidity. We're not getting the volume, which is what I spoke about over the last few weeks. Because that volume is not there, it's just things are struggling to find a bid. When things going up, they're sort of climbing up slowly and then they're breaking down and they're doing these like larger moves down. Where in the bull market, you had these bit of consolidation, pop, up you go. Move down, move down, move down in a step-like way, pop, up you go. Now we're having this like step, 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 move down. Let me zoom in. Step, step, bit of a move, pop down. Even here, we've got to move up straight away, move down, bang, straight away. So you're just not seeing the strength come into the bid, the buy side. You're seeing the pressure build up on the sell side. So this move, like even now, confirms it to me. I still think we'll hit these orange boxes. Whether or not we hit this top one, I'm not sure. I say we'll definitely hit this one, I think, but I could be wrong. Let's see if we hit. I think we'll hit this one. I think we'll more than likely hit this one. I think this one probably hasn't got hope in hell. But let's see. We might get a rally into February or something. Let's see if the on-chain data changes. I don't think it will, but let's see. Overall, over the next 3 to 6 months, I think we're down. I think they'll start printing loads of money in the just before November or maybe after November because of the US election. As I said, I think the whole mining thing, I think the effect of that is quite low or will be into the next mining cycle. As you can see, the 4-year cycle is already pretty much done. I think we didn't get the blow off top. The Plan B model didn't work. The stock to flow model didn't work. So a lot of these things now, they worked before because it was like that. But I don't think it's going to be like that going forward because the landscape is different. This stuff never used to be affected by the federal government's changes. It now is. It's now traded by the institutions, so therefore it is going to be changed to that stuff. Oh yeah, that's it. Ran over. Let's go through the charts now, and you guys can make up your own minds. So we'll go to the 12 hours. Let me get rid of the volume to clean it up. Sorry, it's slightly slow. I suppose I'm streaming alongside it. So as I said, Bitcoin, I think we might get a move down into here or something, consolidate and move straight up, or move straight up. If we were to break down from here, Christ, that would be I would then say like 30k is easily possible in the next few weeks, sort of thing, because you're just not seeing any strength at any point. But here we've shown some strength, a breakup of the downtrend line, maybe a retest, a bump and run, and then up you go maybe to. So it might be worth filling down here if we can find some support. But I'm not confident in the longs for now. But let's move on. Let's look at Ether. So horizontal line. I think Bitcoin is the same on the horizontal. I am going to change it. It's just lazy of me not to change it. I think we hit, the horizontal line is proving a bit of, their resistance and support lines. As you can see, it broke through the support, then goes down, finds the other line. And these are lines I leave there for ages. I don't usually change these lines that much. It just shows you how much support they actually do build up. And now it's proving to be resistant. So maybe we'll build up around it and then be able to pop. Ethereum is similar story. Ethereum is the blockchain. Ether is the token or the coin. Okay, so some resistance here again. It might be the case we make a sort of downtrend channel and pop. Who knows? We might get a move into the red downtrend line. But yeah, we filled the yellow box perfectly. This is why I say sometimes just trust the boxes rather than trust me, because I sometimes get scared out, blah, blah, blah. Ideally, you would just play the boxes because, they do just work. But yeah. So if you filled in here, well done. I mean, I'm bearish over the long term now, so I don't look for longs. And I told you guys before, I trade the trends. So if I think the market is going to go up in the next 6 months, I'll long stuff. If I think, and I'll look for long opportunities. If I think over the next 6 months we're going to go down, I will short. Because I don't want to trade against the trend, because that's how you get punished and blow up your accounts. Let's go through to Litecoin. Litecoin, I'm not interested. This is just so boring. This has just gone sideways since the beginning of December. Like, I'm not interested in this. It didn't reach all-time highs this bull run, which just shows you how sort of shit it is. The liquidity is not flowing into Litecoin, so I would say this one will come down. It will probably come down to the $60 mark at some point. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be a big bounce zone. I just don't. But who knows? I could be wrong. Let's look at Solana. So Solana I've explained already. With the shorting strategy, I would say I put some orders here, some bigger orders here, some even bigger orders here, and this is what I look to do. Is short this one, because hopefully we reclaim the uptrend line now. We get a move up to here, come across, break down, and you could easily come down to 115, even the $79 dollar level. I think even $40 is in play. Yeah, 40. I'd say $50 is very possible. I really would. But yeah, Sol is the one I like. I'm trying to pick the ones I'm actively looking to short. Sol, you only need to pick 2 or 3 winners. You don't need to pick 10. Just pick 2 or 3. Sol will be in my 2 or 3 for sure. BNB, a good move from the yellow and green box. I mean, it was a pretty big yellow and green box, and it bounced off the main trend line. I think we might get a retest, which we're getting, and then a move up. So it's above the horizontal resistance. Resistance turns support. So it's above the horizontal support now. We test it down. It's bounced slightly. We might get moving to the orange box. Only time I'd look to short it would be here, and even then I probably wouldn't short BNB just because there's better opportunities elsewhere. Matic, the monster, I would not short this because it just scares me. Yeah, I wouldn't look to short. I would consider it a bounce long in here just for a short-term play, but it would be a small position because, as I said, I try not to trade against the trend. So I would find it hard to not buy it in here just for a short-term flip. So maybe I would buy it, but I'd play a small position so that it doesn't really affect my account if it goes wrong. Polkadot. Sorry guys, I am going to keep this stream reasonably short. Yep. So Polkadot again, it's such a good coin, but it's just not finding liquidity. I think on one of because we're getting these sort of like move, maybe another move down. So I think if we do come back up to here, or we do hit the orange box, I just think we're going to plummet again. I think this will come down to sort of 19, even the 14 mark. I think I see it bottoming at 14 maybe. But who knows? We might get a rally up to here. I think it's unlikely we're going to get the rallies because the liquidity is not there. Chainlink, I think, was an orange box victim. Yep, it was. And I mean, guys, check out the watch list. I post these charts. Not much changes because we don't play on like the hourly time frame. We play on a 12-hour time frame. So I only get 2 candles every day. So, the charts don't change that often. You've got to be disciplined with them, trade them correctly. And if you want to trade on small time frames, I'd say go ahead, but you may as well just go to the casino and pick red or black. Where on the larger time frames, it's much more reliable. It works because you're on the side of the exchanges and the miners that want to trade. And obviously they're trading with such massive positions. They're looking at things on a bigger time frame so they can actually take a position rather than the smaller time frame because they just, they can't just go and buy 100 million worth of AVAX or Link in one go just because it will move the market basically. So they have to edge themselves in. AVAX is one that's on my radar to short with Solana. So AVAX I would look to fill maybe if I gave myself $100 to trade this setup. If I gave myself $100, I'd maybe fill $30 of it in here and $60 of it in here. So maybe a 10 and a 20. And then a 25 and a 35, something like that. That's what they do. But this is on my radar because I think again we've had this like uptrend line. If you can get a move up to here, show weakness and break down, you can come down to the 52 level. Let's look at Luna. Again, I wouldn't short this here. It's actually at the top of the channel now, and it's trying to get above. Luna is a scary one. I play the yellow box really well, but Luna is like Matic. It can really run. So I try like Curve also. Curve is actually next. But these ones don't go near those ones, because the opportunity, the risk reward is there. Is not there on those ones. It's there on Solana, potentially even BNB, AVAX. It's there. It's not there on these ones because they can just run so much. Even AVAX can run quite a bit, so AVAX does scare me slightly. So if I had $500, I might put $100 into the Solana short and $50 into the AVAX short, or maybe 150 and 75, something like that. But yeah, mostly I've got dollars on the side. But let's look at. I don't like ADA. Don't even bother with ADA. Let's look at Curve. So Curve hasn't even bounced as, it's done well. The yellow boxes, they work, guys. They really do work. But maybe you could do a small short position in this orange box. It scares me slightly. I would refrain from it. If you're one of the expert members and you like the gamble of it, I'd say for sure, yeah, you can do. I've got a question in the thing. In the chat, it says, I have a question. The last time we had the drop in the summer, we had a break even though we had no volume. Can't we get the same thing? Sorry, I don't know what the question is. The last time we had the drop in the summer, we had a break even though we had no volume. We had a break even though we had no volume. Sorry, I don't understand the question. Yeah, sorry, I read it a few times. I don't. Bogdan Grabowski, if you can reword it somehow. Sorry, I don't understand. I'll go back through the charts. Phantom is a scary one. Didn't even fill the yellow box, just popping. But at the moment, it's creating. If we close a high, if we can get up like here to 319, 320, close there, it will create a bear div on the 12-hour time frame. Probably even on bigger time frames. So, I mean, I wouldn't want to short it because Phantom again is like Curve, Matic. They can really go and they do frighten me. So I wouldn't short those ones. Let's look at Sand. Sand actually plays the box as well. Yeah, look, we touched the yellow box, got the bit of movement in it, broke through the downtrend. We might now test the downtrend and go higher, but you can see the orange box was there, killed it. I wouldn't play the orange box that might be like in here. I need to actually measure it out, but I wouldn't play this one for sure. Right, moving on to Mana. So Mana is this actually looks more to me like a long than it does a short. Yeah, this definitely looks more to me like a long than a short. But I wouldn't do either because this is probably a 50-50 here. So those are not good odds. But we could easily break down, retest this support line, which we did here. We had support there. But we could also break up and test this line. But for now, I'm not comfortable playing either because it is so 50-50. Because even though this probably should break up, the volume and liquidity just is not there. So yeah, I wouldn't play it. Mina was a boring chart. Sorry, I'll move on. Mina is one of my long-term gems. Like, when the markets do go down, I assume they will go down. Assuming I'm right, it's one sorry, I'll stay on topic. Mina is one I will look to accumulate. But okay, so back to charts now. When I talk about these uptrends, like on Solana and that not breaking, this is what happens when they do break. So uptrend, uptrend, uptrend. This is all the way back from July. So held it, broke. And you get the bounces are smaller. They retest, and then they break through. So look at this chart now. Take a sort of screenshot in your mind. And now look at what Solana could do. I mean, the trend line is nowhere near as much. But, I mean, you could have easily had a trend line something like this. You got to read. That's not a good trend line, to be fair. But you can see when the trend lines are broken, you do tank. So like even here, you had from late September here across the trend line on a new trend line, broke it, moves down to the old one, bounces off it. As soon as it like holds it, bounces off of it because there will be some support on it, and then you break below, you sort of collapse. So this is what we're looking for. Solana, similar thing to Tezos. So for now, I'm not looking to play Tezos, even though it looks like it could do a pump. But we've seen so many of these fake outs. Like I'm not interested in it. Even here, we had a down trend line. I think it was something like this. Yeah, something like this. You had one fake pump, two fake pumps, and they come down very fast. Like it's not long after they come right back down. So it's just not worth taking the risk on it. Compound just like there's no volume. It's breaking out and there's just no volume. Like the long-term downtrend is there. If it reclaimed the 220 level and held above it like comfortably for like a week, I would say this is now a buy. Sushi could be. I wish I'd shorted it at $10 when we sold it, but we didn't. Again, another example of the trend line. Breaks through, tries to retest, can't, breaks down. Bear flag, breaks down. Bear flag, breaks down. Bear flag, now it pumps. So you do sometimes, but here there was bull divs created. So one bull div. No, but you did have one main bull div created, and it was much higher up. So you are going to get some volume off that, especially when you've gone from 12 down to 5. You're down sort of 60% in the space of a month. So it's a good opportunity to buy there. But you can see on the way down, you have bear flag, break, and then it just keeps going. I had someone ask about VET. That's just so ugly. Like, I definitely do not want to be in that coin. Yeah, sorry, that's not enough. It's not a long. It's not really a short because the short again trend line break, trend line break. So this might be forming some form of bottom to have a move back up to like here, but either way, I wouldn't be in these now. There's just no risk reward on your side. You're almost just hodling for the sake of hodling. Yeah, let's move through. DAG. So I have sold my DAG position. When I made the announcement the other week that I'd sold everything. Yeah, I'm out of DAG now just because the market has changed. Even now, the big long-term downtrend line, we're testing it. It looks like we're getting a rejection. I'll do actually a post on this because I don't think I was clear, but I did sell my DAG position. And the only reason I sold it is because I don't think the long term is there now for the next like 3 to 6 months. I will be able to buy this lower, I think. I still think in a year or 2 years' time, this will be worth a lot more money. But as in, if I can sell here at 20, having bought basically at 20 and rebuy at 10, you know, I can get double the amount. So I'm going to do it. So look at Atom. A few of you like Atom, I know. This one's a bit of a monster. Ooh, this could be very nice for a short. I would be scared to short this, but if we get a break of the trend line and it holds here, I would short it for sure. Let's see. I'm going to add this one to like my active watch list. Thank you to whoever it was that mentioned Atom. Did someone mention Atom? Maybe you didn't. Maybe a lot of you just like Atom. But if I was holding Atom now, I would definitely take some profits for sure. Because I mean, you've gone from late December from 21 to now 39. Like, come on. At least take your initial off. Get rid of your initial. That's what I would say to do. But this one I'm keeping a close eye on to potentially short. A break of the trend line I could short, or even if. Yeah, I would probably wait on the trend line just because I'd be scared to short in here. Let's look at NEAR. How is NEAR up 10%? That's mental. So NEAR is really going for it. especially considering how bad the market is. We've got a number of bear divs, we really have. Yeah, I don't think I'd short, because again, it's frightening. It can just do like mad shit like this. So I don't think I would be shorting it. But if I had it, I would be selling some, definitely. Let's look at Gala. So Gala is on my radar to short. If we can get up to the sort of 38 cent mark, I think I will short. Yeah. So the reason for the Gala short, sorry, I should explain this because that was poor from me there, is that they have their team is basically unloading loads of their tokens on the market each month. So they're putting in so much supply back into the market. So this will just go down and down and down until that period is done. But I think it's like a 9-month period. So I think if this can go up, I will look to short it. Let's look at Harmony 1, because I know a few like this. Okay, not bad. Nice move. Creating a bear div though, which is not great. Yellow box, guys. What do I say? Yellow box. I would then, if I would maybe look, you might be getting a sort of double top here. I would consider taking some profits of it, but I'm bearish on the market now for the next, like, at least for the short term. So I would say if you are getting coins that are pumping, consider taking some profits and just de-risking out of the, interest rates are going to go up. The tapering is going to accelerate. There's going to be a normalization of the balance sheet over in sometime in the next 9 months. Just take some risk off the table. But that's my advice. Someone wanted QNT. Again, like, if you're bag holding this, how do I say this without being rude? But just get out. Like, this is not doing anything. Even on this downtrend, you got to break up. It broke out loads, then it closed back below, and then dipped and even then it balanced on top. Got a bit, there's no volume there. There's nothing like who is coming in and buying this? Do you know what I mean? So in terms of what would I do if I had this now? I wouldn't short it because there's a lot of support at this level, but I certainly wouldn't be long in it. I just wouldn't want to go anywhere near it. So I would basically be out of it. If I had some now, I'd sell them straight away. Trying to think. Yeah, I wouldn't do anything with it. I would just want to be out of it and nowhere near it. Let's look at SHIB. I know a lot of you like SHIB. When I told you guys the last few months to be out of SHIB, every single day you were probably losing money other than this. But even here, let's have a look at the volume. Guys, this is not tradable. Who is going to pump this market? Bear in mind, with the SHIB tokens, I think there's like 6 wallets that own like 98% of the supply. Like, they're going to dump on you at some point if they haven't been already. Like, they're probably like dumping on people into this. Yeah, I wouldn't go near this. Like, I just really wouldn't. But yeah, back to the start. Bitcoin at 43 to 70 to 80. I did get one question. Luca, yes, I did do Harmony 1. Okay, Bogdan's asked this question again. Can't we get a move up even if we don't have volume, just like on the 20th of July? Yes, it's possible, but it's more the fact that you need to understand the difference between volume and liquidity. So it's where who does the volume come in by? Because the institutions might be buying, but retail might be nowhere near it. All of a sudden, the volume doesn't look that much, but the main guys you want buying are buying. So the volume might be like half okay, but retail is not jumping on the bandwagon. Where maybe in, what's the date you asked for? Let's go to the 3 days, just to zoom out the chart slightly. You asked for blah 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 20th of July. Okay, so it was these ones in here. Okay, cool. is this being tricky for me? So in 20th and 21st of July. So in here, this one 100%. Let's have a look actually. Going off a little bit off topic here, but I think this is helpful. Some of the metrics won't show up on Whale Map, and Whale Map would have been good. Let's look at, trying to think of the best thing to go on to see the buying. First thing we can do is mean transfer volume. So this is the, I'll explain it before I click on the chart, because I don't know if it's going to show up or not. I could be completely wrong. But on mean transfer volume, if there's a spike in mean transfer volume, it means that the average amount of transfers has probably stayed the same, but that those transfers in there are really high value USD, really high value transfers, which means it's big boys that are buying. So if it's big boys that are buying, that indicates that whatever that volume was, it was the right buyers. It wasn't, you know, people that are going to buy and then sell in the following candles. These buyers are buying for they want to hold at least a week or so. Let's have a look. 20th of July. This will be interesting. I wouldn't be shocked if we saw a spike on the 20th of July. Then you know it was the big boys that were buying. Jesus, what's happened here? Oh, because it's registering for this. Okay. So we'll go to like 2020, 2021. Okay, so this is done on a daily resolution. No, we didn't get much. So it might have just been like there was normal people saving it. But what we did have the following days is we had the big institutions come in then, which has pushed it up. But let me see. I mean, the volume here is not big anyway. The volume came in here, which was the institutions, which we just saw from the chart. The volume was not big on the 21st of July. I'm trying to think of where I think this is the candle you mean, and as we saw there, that did come in here from these guys' institutions. So I think that's what I'm asking. I'm answering your question there. Maybe you meant no. But yeah, so this is what I mean is that you can click. Sorry, just to emphasize that point, you can clearly see the institutions are in at these points in here. So whether it's buying or selling, you don't actually know. But and we have had one recently. But you can see from here, this is when the institutions were in. They weren't in here, but they got in here. And if you look at the volumes here are not big. You know, the volumes in here and in here were much bigger. They certainly were not they're not big in here. We got a big candle there on the push down, but that's it. But I hope that answers the question between the difference in sort of volume and the right buyers. So it's out of that volume that does come in, whether it's big or small, who is it that's generating that volume? That's what you want to be the question you want to be asking yourself. And so the way to answer that is to go into the on-chain, look at the on-chain, and see where it's come from. Like what cohort, what group of investors has it come from? But are there any other questions? Because I think I'm done, guys. But I will talk a little bit longer just to see if questions come in. Yeah, that sort of is it from the sort of volume point of things. Any more questions? Anyone want me to talk about anything else? Cover anything else? No, I think that's it. Okay, guys, if there are any more questions, ask me in the Discord because that's where I'll be. But no problem, Bogdan. It's not a problem. Any questions? Ask me in the Discord, and we'll go from there. But yeah. Oh, shared chart setups. I'll do an announcement on this. Shared chart setups. I've been able to figure out. I can't change the link for things. So the student members, they won't get share chart setups now. They will just get me posting the Bitcoin and Ethereum chart every single day. I'll change the boxes if they need to be changed, and they'll have to go off the watch list. You guys will be able to download all of these charts. This list here, expert members, this is the list you have. I've been able to sort it out, and it was Luca that helped me out with that. I will do that in the next day or two. You'll just have to follow the steps, download the things. I mean, it's literally you have to download one thing and click one link. That's it, and you have it. But I would get TradingView set up if you guys haven't got it already. But yeah, share chart setups is going to be. I just have to do the post on it, but I don't have any time tomorrow really to be online for like a 2-hour period, and I don't have time this evening. Where Saturday I do. So I want to be able to answer any questions if there are any questions. So I'm probably going to do it on Saturday. But if you guys all shout at me and moan at me, then I will do it beforehand. But yeah, that's it. If you guys desperately want it now and you don't think there'll be too many questions, then I can do it in the next. I can do it the first thing in the morning. But yeah, that's it from me. I hope you guys liked the stream. I hope it was helpful and useful for you as per usual. Again, any questions, hit me up in Discord and we'll go from there. Sweet. Thanks, guys.